Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Philly Phil. Thank you all for joining. All right, let's just jump right on into it. Okay, guys, we are once again back here to continue the reading of the Murdaugh murders. The Murdaugh murders, uncovering the dark underbelly of Southern elite society. Thank you guys so much for watching the video and leaving comments and letting me know that you were interested in me continuing to read it. I truly do appreciate it. Also, if you want to support the channel, because reading, hey, it's reading is fundamental. But listen, $ Philly Phil 65 is the cash app. If you want to support the channel, I appreciate it. Again, thank you all for watching the video. All right. So, Alex Murdaugh, we left off at chapter 2. Alex Murdaugh. We're going to start with chapter 3 tonight. And you see the background. Maggie Stone, I tell you, her cover for the book, it is really fitting. I mean, the eyeball looking, hey, you don't know who's watching, who knows what. And then I put Alex Murdaugh on there as well. And then you can see behind me the trees. It was a dark night when he took his son and his wife's life. And he has been convicted for that, okay? All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start reading. And again, I thank you for watching the video. The first video did really well. It's almost at 3,000 views. And that is really good for, just me reading and you guys, listening. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like my voice. All right, let's let this Southern girl, that's one of y'all call me, get on back to reading. All right, chapter 3, a promising career cut short. Alex Murdaugh was a prominent South Carolina attorney with a long and promising legal career. He came from a prominent family with a legacy of power and privilege in the state, and he had a reputation for being a formidable litigator. Murdaugh attended the University of South Carolina School of Law, where he earned his law degree in 1997. After graduation, he worked as an associate attorney at the law firm of Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Elrots, and Dietrich in Hampton, South Carolina. Wow, I used to live in Hampton, Virginia. It says he quickly rose through the ranks at the firm, becoming a partner in 2000. Throughout his career, Murdaugh was involved in a wide range of high-profile cases. He was known for his skill in negotiation and his ability to win cases both in and out of the courtroom. He was widely respected in legal circles and had a reputation for being a tough but fair opponent. In addition to his work as an attorney, Murdaugh was also involved in various legal and community organizations. He was a member of the South Carolina Bar Association, the American Bar Association, and the South Carolina Association for Justice, among others. The Murdaughs hunted city on that state on lock, okay? So that's why, when it first happened, people were so hesitant to really, look at him as though he could have done it. It says he was also active in his local community, serving on the board of directors for several nonprofit organizations. However, the promising legal career of Alex Murdaugh was cut short by a series of events that began to unfold in 2018. In that year, Murdaugh was accused of misappropriating funds from his law firm, Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Elrots, and Dietrich. He was suspended from the South Carolina bar and faced an investigation into his actions. Then, in June of 2021, tragedy struck the Murdaugh family. Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul were shot and murked on the family's property in Culleton County. The case attracted national attention and put a spotlight on the Murdaugh family's troubled history with the legal system. Now, as you know, this book was written prior to Murdaugh being found guilty. He is now serving life for taking the life of his wife and his youngest son, Paul. Such a tragedy. As the investigation into the murders unfolded, it was revealed that Murdaugh had hired a hitman to murk him in an attempt to collect a life insurance policy and leave the money to his surviving son, which would have been Buster. It says Murdaugh survived the attempt on his life, but the revelation of his involvement in the murder for hire plot shocked the legal community and destroyed his reputation. And you know, down there in the South, reputation is everything. Living on the right side of the tracks means everything, okay? I'm down here in Arkansas, Little Rock, that is. It says, in the aftermath of these events, Murdaugh resigned from his law firm and faced numerous criminal charges, including conspiracy to commit insurance fraud and obstruction of justice. His once promising legal career was cut short, and he now faces an uncertain future as he awaits trial and tries to rebuild his life. And we all know how that ended. It says the events that led to the murders of Alex Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul are still being investigated, but some details have emerged. On the night of June 7, 2021, Maggie and Paul were shot and murked on the Murdaugh family's property in Culleton County, South Carolina. According to initial reports, the shootings were believed to have occurred as a result of a botched robbery attempt. However, as the investigation progressed, new details emerged that cast doubt on this theory. It was revealed that the murkings had been executed with a high degree of precision and that nothing had been taken from the property. You know, that's clue number one to investigators, skilled investigators. If nothing is taken, it's not business, it's personal. It says, this led investigators to suspect that the murkings were targeted rather than a random act of violence. In the weeks following the murks, investigators began to focus their attention on the Murdaugh family itself. It was revealed that Alex Murdaugh had discovered the bodies of his wife and son and had called 911 to report the murkings. However, his behavior in the aftermath of the murkings raised suspicions among investigators. In particular, it was discovered that Murdaugh had contacted a well-known South Carolina criminal defense attorney, Jim Griffin, within hours of discovering the bodies. Griffin later admitted to being at the scene of the crime that night and helping to move Paul's body, but he maintained that he had not been involved in the murkings. Why would a well-known attorney do something like that? See, that lets you know how powerful the Murdaugh's name was. To make an attorney go to a crime scene and move a deceased body. You know, you really got to have some power to make somebody do something like that. As investigators delved deeper into the Murdaugh's family history, they uncovered a pattern of alleged criminal activity and corruption. Murdaugh himself was facing criminal charges related to allegations that he had misappropriated funds from his law firm, and his family had a long history of involvement in the legal system, both as attorneys and as law enforcement officials. It was also revealed that Murdaugh had been involved in a car accident just days before the murkings, in which he had sustained minor injuries. However, questions were raised about the circumstances of the incident, and some speculated that it may have been staged in an attempt to cover up the murkings. As investigators continued, it became clear that the murks were not a random act of violence, but were yet instead part of a larger web of criminal activity and corruption. The details of this web are still being uncovered, but it is clear that the events leading up to the murks were complex and multifaceted. Okay, let's move on to chapter 4. The title is The Investigation, Clues, Suspects, and the Search for Justice. The investigation into the murks of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh had been ongoing since the night of June 7, 2021. In the months that have followed, law enforcement officials have worked tirelessly to gather evidence, interview witnesses, and follow up on leads in the search for justice. One of the biggest challenges facing investigators has been the complexity of the case. The Murdaugh family is one of the most powerful and influential in the state of South Carolina, with deep connections in the legal and law enforcement communities. Deep connections. I'm telling you guys, their family held power there for over 100 years. Okay, putting people in jail year after year, month after month. As a result, investigators have tread carefully to avoid any appearance of impropriety or bias. Despite these challenges, investigators have made significant progress in the case. They have interviewed dozens of witnesses, analyzed forensic evidence, and conducted searches of multiple properties, including the Murdaugh family's hunting lodge. One of the key suspects in the case is Alex Murdaugh himself. As we discussed in the previous chapter, his behavior in the aftermath of the murks raised suspicions among investigators. See, guys, when they were watching him walk around, they were watching him very closely. All of that talk he was talking, like, can you check their pulse? Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. They knew he had done it. Those were seasoned investigators. Okay, trust me, they knew he had done it, but he was a Murdaugh, so they had to tread lightly. It says, they have also uncovered evidence of financial improprieties at his law firm, which may have provided a motive for the murkings. Yes, money was running low. He was robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he was running out of Peter's money. Another key suspect in the case is Jim Griffin, the criminal defense attorney who was contacted by Murdaugh shortly after he discovered the bodies. Griffin has admitted to being at the scene of the crime and helping to move Paul's body, but he maintains that he was not involved in the murkings. Why would they move the body though? See, that's the first thing the detectives were wondering. Why would you move the body? What was your point? And he was trying to get that phone because that phone had evidence in it, Paul's phone. It says investigators have also explored other potential suspects, including individuals who may have had a motive to harm the Murdaugh family. For example, there have been rumors of a long-standing feud between the Murdaughs and other prominent family in the area, the Petersons. Oh my goodness, it's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. It says throughout the investigation, law enforcement officials have been tight-lipped about the details of the case, and many questions remain unanswered. However, they have made it clear that they are committed to bringing the perpetrators of these heinous crimes to justice, no matter how powerful or well-connected they may be. As the investigation continues, the eyes of the nation are on South Carolina, waiting for answers and justice for Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. That's the end of chapter 4. We will stop there and we will begin with chapter 5, which is titled A Shocking Twist, Alex Murdaugh's alleged role in his own shooting. So we will start there when we resume tomorrow. But I do have something else that I want to share with you guys, so let me get to it. Okay, guys, so look at here. It says, Buster Murdaugh denies vicious rumors of involvement in teen's death in 2015. Buster is the only surviving son of Alex and Maggie. It says Alex Murdaugh's son said he's been harassed over baseless claims that he is tied to Stephen Smith's demise while he mourned the deaths of his own family. Okay, this has been ongoing, guys. It says Alex Murdaugh's son Buster issued a statement Monday denying any involvement in the demise of a 19-year-old man whose body was found in the family's South Carolina hunting home in 2015. Body was found near the family's South Carolina hunting home in 2015. The 26-year-old, in a statement released by a family's attorney, said he has been harassed and targeted over claims that he is tied to Stephen Smith's demise following his mother and brother's shooting deaths in 2021. He asked for peace as he copes with his father's recent life sentence for the murkings and called the claims baseless, vicious. And here is the statement. All right, Jim Griffin, that's the attorney. The same attorney went out to the actual site of the demise of Maggie and Paul. He is also Buster's attorney. And this is from the Twitter. Statement of Buster Murdaugh. I have tried my best to ignore the vicious rumors about my involvement in Stephen Smith's tragic demise that continue to be published in the media as I grieve over the brutal murkings of my mother and brother. I love them so much and miss them terribly. I haven't spoken up until now because I want to live in private while I cope with their demise and my father's incarceration. Before, during, and since my father's trial, I have been targeted and harassed by the media and followers of this story. This has gone on too long. All right, guys, and that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Again, thank you all for supporting the channel. Make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it out. And we will continue the readings starting with chapter 5 on tomorrow. All right, you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you're reading this. Thank you again for the support. And if you want to support the channel, remember the Cash App is $Philly Field 65. Thank you so much.